we have with us Sanjay Garg, the man of the moment from Raw Mango. As we all know, the First Lady of United Kingdom, Akshata Murthy, bid farewell to India in a beautiful pink organza sari that was created by Sanjay Garg. So Sanjay, tell us tell us a bit about the sari first.
Well, sari was from Moomal collection. It is made with a hand woven embroidered organza and has a very minimal gota and a small peacock motif. And Akshata actually chosen a sari which is kind of, you know, when you say that like a hot pink is a navy blue of India in a way.
Yeah.
I think she chose that pink and has a small like a very small motif of a peacock which you couldn't see from the far.
Right.
I thought that's a great depiction of India.
And did you gift it to her, or did a stylist pick it?
No, I did not give it to her, or nor her stylist. Before she came to India, she got this from online. She bought few stuff, one of the sari and one of the kurta, and that's what I got to know while I met her here in Delhi.
Oh, tell us a bit about the kurta that we did not spot her wearing, but she.
Well, kurta was in a hot pink. It has a beautiful palm motif woven in Varanasi. Has a small little pearl work. And it's a V-neck kurta, yeah.
And I believe you met Akshata during the G20.
Yes, right.
What was your conversation about?
Nothing. I don't know that you guys know that she actually visited my place 10 years ago. She got a lot of handloom textile and she told me, well, I'm storing them very well and I'm keeping them for my children. It was good to hear that how much she cared for handloom.
That is amazing. During G20, we saw that sari is clearly the power outfit, right? For all the power women out there. Which ones are your favorites? In terms of which textiles do you think really depict a power woman?
Sari has always been a very powerful garment. It's just not only G20. It's always worn by the politician, including Mrs. Gandhi to Benazir Bhutto and her mother and Muhammad Ali Jinnah's wife, Pakistan, Bangladesh Prime Minister and also it's worn by Mother Teresa. So there's something, and also it's worn by, I'm sorry to say that, by you call a dance number in Hindi film.
Yeah.
So sari is a powerful garment. It has many connotation and many aesthetics and beauty and textile and drape.
Absolutely.
And personality. And it's a very versatile garment, as you can see it.
Thank you for that. And now let's talk about festivities in Diwali, and we are all at that time of the year. What do you recommend if somebody has to buy two things in terms of textiles? What should they shop this festive season or part of the trousseau?
So see, as I always say that there are many India lives in one India. So it matters like what is festivity means to that person. If it's someone living in South, they may not prefer a very heavy silk sari or a brocade. They may go for a cotton sari. And someone living here and then it happened to be Diwali and which is the winter start, you could wear a beautiful brocade and organza embroidery, right? So it depends where you from and what's festival. Is a festival in a day or an evening. There's all that a deciding factor, the weather, the time of the day and what festival of what to choose. Please take all that in mind while you're buying something.
Amazing. And now we focus on the business of fashion. All right. Now you have done so well, and there are so many people from all over the country who aspire to have a career in textiles. What would be your advice to them?
Okay, first of all, I don't think so that I can ever even get to work with all the textile what we have in this country. We have so many, like, you know, we have a country of storytelling, and at the same time we have so many stories just through textiles, and every state has multiple textile weaving of tradition, and you know there are so many kind of yarn, technique, weave, motif, sari and the fabric from Kerala to Kashmir. And we all know when you don't wear a sari, you wear it in a form of stole or a shawl. So all I want to say that don't please think that is a Chanderi or Maheshwari or Varanasi only in a trend. Wherever you are, there are textile pocket exists. Please work around what you know with the knowledge. And there are many other things which are not, people haven't even reached, you know, they're not even started. We need many hundred of textile designers to work with multiple textiles of tradition.
Which brings me to my next question. What business structure should they follow?
Well, there's not a one business structure. Well, I started from Delhi Heart. So I don't know how to suggest to someone like what is the business structure. I think it also depends where you are. Like there are people who start with online, and when I started, there was no online exist. I'm sure there are people who start with Delhi Heart. There are people who start with a fashion show. There are people who start with a pop-up. There are people who start with a shop. I really think that people should not believe in a formula. They should really think that what really works for them.
What do you think is the best part about working in fashion and design and textiles?
Well, for me, if I can only talk about me, that it is fun for me because it is like someone is paying you like cricket and someone is paying you to play cricket. So exactly that feeling for me always. It's like what I'm doing, what my interests are, and I get paid to do that. And that's the fun part. Like someone is paying for my hobby in a way.
Right. And what is the worst thing about fashion, design, textiles in India?
I think when the textiles become fashion, and I keep saying it that there's a slow fashion and then there's a fashion which keep changing and people discard things because they think this is a trend or that's not the trend. I think that's the scariest part. So what Dawn is not only we all talk about sustainability, it also is heavy on your pocket. You have to keep buying new things because if you believe in trend and see. If ikat is not in a trend this year and then it's gone out of trend for 5 years, it's very difficult for the viewer. I think we don't need to, that what I'm trying to say that how do we kill this trend system? And how can you wear the same clothes in a many different avatar?
But I'm talking about from the perspective of somebody in business. What's the worst part about design textiles in India?
Awareness, I would say. I think we think that we are more aware in the world than anywhere else, but I think, as I said, the trend and awareness. I think a lot of people buying handloom without knowing what handloom it is, and also they do not know what is a good quality of handloom and what is a good handwork, what is not good handwork. I think I always thought that why don't we put them in an education system where people can identify craft better.
So has online made it easier for you or has it made it tougher?
Nothing. If you ask me personally, I do not like online. I think the whole experience goes down for it. I always like to touch it and see it. I do understand someone has visited my store. They already are familiar with my things, and if they cannot travel it, then it works. But I think when you come physically to a store, you get to explore so many things. I think I always prefer like a physical store than online.
So what advice would you have for the person across the country wanting to start in textile? You said they should look at the textile pocket around them, but then what do they do and what is the next step, and should they decide that it's time to leave or we are going to make it big?
Time to leave meaning?
Time to leave the business, because not everybody can be successful. So,
Okay.
So what is your advice to people starting up?
I think
in textiles?
I think that when you say time to leave, I think that your balance sheet can tell you. I don't have to tell them.
It's all about the balance sheet. Okay.
And second, you ask me that textile tradition. Well, there are a lot of textile tradition around the world. First of all, that especially Asian country. If you're living in Asia, Japan or Indonesia, or even China for that matter, Thailand, Laos or Africa, they have multiple beautiful tradition of textiles. So there are like from Nairobi to Ethiopia to Africa to Uganda, they have most wonderful things. So these continent especially, I do understand that Europe is no more like that textile centric. They used to have a very big hub for handloom, weaving and embroidery and lace making, but it's shrinking every day, and Europe and America especially. But other than that, I think even the South America to Africa, Asia have multiple textiles.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.